Hello everyone! This video's topic is about the hybrid mana debate in the Commander format. Before we dive in, let's quickly review the current rules on hybrid mana cards and why this topic is being discussed. Commander uses a rule called Color Identity. This rule means that when you choose any creature as your commander, you are only allowed to play with cards that share that commander's colors. So this means cards that have hybrid mana have to fit within that color identity to be played in those commander decks. If your deck is Temur colored, it can only play any card that has red, green, and blue only. Recently, the Commander panel has played with the idea of allowing cards with hybrid mana to bend the rules. An example is Creekwood Liege, being allowed to be played in certain decks as long as the commander has green mana or black mana in its identity. This has sparked debate whether it would change the format for the better or worse, and I'm here to argue that it would do some good for the format. In this video, I'll be discussing concerns I see from other content creators and players. If the rules were to be changed, it would encourage unique deck building. While the counter argument is that certain cards will become auto-includes, I believe that would not be the case. For example, Waves of Aggression is a card that many fear will be played by a lot of decks, leading to an increase in overall power level. I argue against this. Many casual decks such as Mono White Angels or Life Gain strategies already struggle to ramp up their mana or effectively use the card's retrace ability, meaning it simply doesn't fit their game plan. Most decks that run white or red already have tons of better cards. Key point, why would a Selesnya or green-white token deck run this? They would rather just run Craterhoof Behemoth for a guaranteed win. Why would a gold-white deck that has access to white like Urza Chief Artificer run this? They would always prefer Akroma's Will to give the team protection and invasion and win on the spot. Waves of Aggression doesn't guarantee a kill. Those other more focused cards do. You have to work hard just to ensure the creatures that attack can survive the extra combat. You have to cast other cards on top of it to justify the slot, pushing the real cost to more than 8 mana. And that's just being generous. Even if you succeed and kill one person, you made yourself the arch enemy and will be targeted and hindered by the rest of the table. Beseech the Queen has the same fear, the fear that it will become a colorless demonic tutor that goes in every deck. But just like Waves of Aggression, the same can be said, it's an inefficient tutor for most colors. Every color already has a better, more specialized tutor. Green has the best creature tutors, blue has the best instant and sorcery tutors, and white has the best equipment and enchantment tutors. A focused deck or any color with a plan is going to run its own efficient colors first before it runs Beseech the Queen. Again, a 6-mana tutor is not a problem in Commander. That's slow and perfectly fair, even if a deck has a way of making black mana through treasures or mana dorks. It's inefficient at the end of the day. So who is this for? It's for the people who want to change it up. It's for the creative builder. It's for the mono red player who is happy to pay 6 mana on turn 8 to find that one specific artifact or pet card they want, an effect they can normally never access. It's a tool for unique deck building, not a staple for all of them. Moving on to the next topic, the potential inclusion of hybrid mana has also raised concerns about a power imbalance within the community. Fear that future cards can become an issue or past cards become powerful as time goes by, but we solved that. In the past, when the bracket system did not exist, people had a lot of mismatched play expectations. People's definitions of a 7 or 10 and deck power varied. For you, Yuriko the Tiger Shadow is not really a 10 power deck but rather a light 7. For me, it could have been a 10 due to my experience with it. Another example is the Revi Imperial Tactician. Could have been a light 6 in my opinion, but a 7 for you. I argue against this fear. Commander is at its heart a social format. It's not what cards and game changes are being played, but rather the rule zero conversation before the game. It's about matching expectations and players' intent. This is where the social aspect and the system come into play. When a pod discusses the desired gameplay and ways to win, it significantly reduces the chances of a mismatch. Makes games more enjoyable for more people. Even though it's not a perfect system, it does prevent a lot of leaks from happening. But let's be blunt. A player who wants to abuse the system and build a bracket 2 deck that can win by turn 5 is clearly not playing a bracket 2. Yet instead of saying, oh no, these cards are too powerful, people say the deck is simply not at the right table. So how would the hybrid mana cards people want to play be treated differently under this mindset? And that brings me to my third point, homogenization. This is the real boogeyman for many people, the ultimate argument people use against this change. The fear is that every deck will just become the good stuff pile, that every deck will run Beseech the Queen, every Storm deck will run Metamorphosis, and the format will become a stale, repetitive mess. My final point to this is, the argument is only true for CDEH, and for CDH, it doesn't matter. Let's be absolutely blunt. Yes, in a bracket 5 CDH game, Metamorphosis will be an auto-include in some deck that wants to run it. Yes, Beseech the Queen will be an auto-include in some deck that doesn't have efficient tutors. Of course they will. CEDH is a fundamentally different format that's already 100% homogenized. That is the entire point of the format. Players are already playing the absolute 100 most broken efficient cards possible. They are already running every free counterspell, every 1 mana tutor, and all the fast mana. This rule change doesn't break CEDH. It doesn't create homogenization. It just slightly shuffles the list of the 100 broken cards those players are using. The problem of homogenization is completely contained and quarantined within bracket 5, where all the players have agreed to play that way. It never trickles down to bracket 2 or 3 players who just want to make a creative deck. And that player, the casual creative player, is the one we are punishing with the current rule. So the real question is this: why should we sacrifice creativity, fun, and deck building options for the majority of the player base, all to protect a format that doesn't even need protecting? In this segment, I'll just talk about some ideas I saw, but not many people talked about. I've also seen and heard people mention that the hybrid mana will confuse people, and I agree. Let's start with the fact that Commander is not generally a beginner-friendly format. Commander requires a significant understanding of card interaction to become good at and to play in higher brackets. That is why I recommend that people that are starting to play Magic to play Magic Arena first and then transition into Commander so they don't feel overwhelmed by it. Another argument I've encountered is the slippery slope argument, suggesting that if hybrid mana is permitted, the door is open for Phyrexian mana. I do not see that happening at all. It would break the core tenet of color identity, and Phyrexian mana is busted. The Rules Committee, both current and future members, likely recognize the potential issues and problems associated with this. I believe Gavin, given his background as a player and a designer, would understand how it could negatively impact the enjoyment of Commander, and he would voice his opinion about this issue. And so would the other committee members. With that, I thank you for watching my video. I hope to have changed your opinion if you had one, or give you a glimpse of the other side. If you have thoughts, feel free to share them. My goal is to start more discussions about the hybrid mana idea.